Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Path of Knowledge. I am your host, the Gaming Shaman, and today we're going to be talking about Battle Brothers. Now, Battle Brothers is an early access game. However, a very good early access game. That's the reason I want to bring some attention to it. Also, I just really love turn-based RPGs, and Battle Brothers is one of the best ones I have seen in a while. So, well, I've already told you kind of what it is. It's a turn-based RPG. Open world campaign. You are the sole proprietor of a band of mercenaries, and you, fortunately, are tasked with ridding the world of ne'er-do-wells and protecting lots of caravans. So it should be a good time overall. The other thing you need to note about this game is it is similar to Mount and Blade. What do I mean by that? Well, the world is open, very open, and there are random groups and bandits that will chase after you and attempt to destroy your mercenary party. There is also permadeath. If your party members die, they're dead. And finally, you're going to be picking up contracts and hiring mercenaries in small towns and villages that you find scattered about the map. So let's jump into the game here. New campaign. First thing you'll notice, you get to name your band of mercenaries. So what I'm going to do, since I am a novice shaman, I am going to go ahead and name them after myself because I am, self-centered. And you also get to pick a banner. Now, the banner doesn't really do anything. It's just an aesthetic choice. And it allows you to kind of see where you are on the map. And you'll see that there's quite a few different choices. The flags don't differ all that much as far as like the design of, or the shape of the flag, I should say. However, the design on the flag, as you can see, color and insignia, very, very different, and there's quite a few different choices. I'm going to go ahead and pick my favorite, the one that I use every time I've played this game, and that is the moon, especially since I'm a shaman. You also see you have 3 difficulties here, even, challenging, and deadly. Yeah, not so good at this game. It is pretty hard, so I'm going to stick with even, and we'll jump into the game. We'll be greeted by a lovely little load screen, and then we're greeted with a lovely little sort of back story. Basically, this tells you how you became a mercenary leader. This tells you how you became Big Boss and why you have the Diamond Dogs, so to speak. Obviously, different game, but hopefully you'll love the, little comparison there anyway. And it also tells you about your 3 friends that have decided to join you and why you're their commander. And then down here at the bottom we have the early access disclaimer, and obviously they need that. It is an early access game, but a lot of the things they talk about in this early access disclaimer I haven't noticed. So huzzah. So in my experience, you always start off near a large city. It's not always the same city, and that introduces the map. So you can see the map is pretty big. There's lots of space to roam and play and frolic. And the map is not necessarily randomly generated. It is partially procedurally generated and random. So what do I mean by that? So the layout of where the cities are, to me, seems like there's a set group that it can pick from that have been already designed, because I have played on a map similar to this before, and I know that in several of my playthroughs I've played on maps that tend to be very similar. Now, what is randomly generated, for certain, is the placement of the cities, what type of cities get placed, where they get placed, and things like watchtowers and castles where those are going to be landing. You'll also notice the lovely day and night cycle that we have. Alright, so we're going to scroll back in, and we're going to go ahead and move on into this city. And you'll see here you have the option of hiring people. You have the option to buy or sell goods here with this gent, and you have the opportunity to pick up contracts. So we'll pick up the first contract, and it's always the same. In every playthrough I've done of this game, when I get killed and decide to start over, it's been the same one. He gives you a very long-winded explanation of, hey, in order to be a good mercenary commander, you need to have these things. You need to have food to feed your army. You need to have money to pay your army and buy supplies for your army. I was like, buy supplies for your army. You need, you need, not money, we already talked about that one. You'll need ammo to keep your archers and crossbowmen and javelin throwers equipped. You'll also need medical supplies to keep your army healthy, and you'll need tools to repair it. And then down here at the bottom, he offers 500 crowns to raise the bandit hideout. So we'll go ahead and we'll take this first contract because it tends to be rather easy. Now, you're going to notice here, bandit hideout, deadly. Oh, balls. I have 3 guys in my army, and I know for a fact that there are 5 guys here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hire a couple of new goons. So let's see what we've got. We have Nellis, who is equipped with a crossbow. We have Grimold, who is apparently a killer on the run. And he is equipped with a knife. We have Urban Hardent, apparently. And he's a scholar of some description. Yeah, a historian. We have Hagen, Renhold, Wolfgang. My, quite a few. Bertram, the miner. And Gunnar. Yeah, Gunnar. We're going to call him Gunnar. And he's a sellsword, so he is a mercenary by trade. So, this leads me into an interesting topic. You have a choice here. You could buy a couple of these cheap guys who aren't going to cost you that much money at the outset, and their minimum wage tends to be fairly low. Or their daily wage, not minimum wage, their daily wage tends to be fairly low. And you could do that, and then you could equip them with better items and level them up. Or you could buy a more expensive unit, or hire a more expensive mercenary, let's stick with the theme, and get a guy who's pretty well equipped but spend a lot more money. So I only have 3,500 crowns, so I'm going to hire this guy. His daily wage is not that much higher than the guys already in my party. I am going to pick up Wolfgang because he's really cheap, and I'm going to buy him a better weapon because knives are not particularly good. And you know what? I like the crossbow, so I'm going to pick up Nihilus or Nellis. Let's call him Niles. Oh gosh, I just don't know. Names, pronunciation of names. He's a witch hunter. I like it. Yeah, okay, so we're going to hire him, definitely a win there. We're going to go to our roster here, and we're going to take a gander at our stuff, so we have no equipment. And you'll notice over here that we have our abilities. Each weapon is typically capable of 2 abilities, with the exception of two-handed axes and I believe two-handed swords as well. Most two-handed weapons have 3 abilities, and then since he's equipped with a shield, he has 2 shield abilities. Now here is our character traits. So you'll see he's a companion, that's his background. We also have short-sighted. Is that a tree or an orc over there? This character's short-sighted and cannot see far. So his vision is a little bit reduced. The average vision is 7, so he's down to 6. And we have determined. We'll start combat at a confident morale. That's good for us. Having confident morale means that he's less likely to waver in combat, less likely to be affected by the enemies slaying allies beside him, and also genuinely not fearful when it comes to getting hit in the face with an axe or a sword. We also, okay, he's got nothing, but as you can see, he has 3 abilities. He has the two-handed axe. We have, ooh, what's this one? Let's see, Iron Lungs. So, +5 fatigue, recover per turn. That's really nice. I've not seen this one before. There are a lot of different character skills, I guess, if you want to call them that are in this game, and I have not seen, well, every time I play it seems like I'm finding a new one. Here's another one. Deserter. I have not seen this background trait. So, you just get to get a little information on what kind of guys you're partying up with. Let's see what we have here. Clumsy, alright, so -5 melee skill. And fragile, so -10 hit points. Ooh, not ideal. And we have fat, so he has more hit points but less fatigue. And he's sure-footing, so +5 melee defense. That's good, I like that. Alright. We'll go ahead and close out of there. We'll leave, and it's night, so we can't actually buy anything. Luckily, the day and night cycle isn't particularly long. There we go. Slightly weaker now. They've adjusted. Let's go ahead and wait here for day so that we can buy some, or a better sword, perhaps, for our... no, we'll just go in for it. You know what? Let's pick up one more guy, just to be safe, because I want to show off things, but I don't want to die. So, let's pick up Grimald. I like him, too. We're going to hire him. Oh, there was one other thing I was going to show you. With the character roster, you also have the option to rename your characters. So this guy's a witch hunter. I realize this is not accurate, but Buck. When you forget how to spell things, and then you go, oh man, now I can't even do it. So we'll leave it. Never mind. Pretend I didn't even do that. Oh man, when you're trying to spell the name Geralt and you forget entirely how to spell it. Oh well, moving in. So you get to see your first bit of combat here. It gives you a lovely little scouting report, some bandit thugs, and a bandit marksman. Now that's not a real sure number. I know that there's going to be 5 enemies because I've played this mission once or twice because I've started the game over a few times, and it's always going to be like that in this first mission at least. But this does give you a genuine idea of what you're going to be seeing. And a bandit marksman does tell you that there is going to be one, so, that's nice. Get a little load screen. And welcome to the game. So, look at the rain. Let's talk about the art style for a minute. It is fantastic. Looks great. Oh, the little character models, they show such great detail as well. Once we get into the combat, you'll see exactly what I mean. The character models show a great amount of detail. When they get hit, you see lacerations on the face. Armor gets tattered. If you manage to break someone's helmet or their chest piece, it breaks and disappears off the character model. You'll also notice here that Herbert Hardent, or however you say his name, again, I apologize for my names. He's confident, and that's what the blue flag is indicative of. And as we fight on, you will notice that other guys, as we fight, will begin to raise white flags, hopefully. Let's see. We've got a 45% chance to hit. Let's shoot at him. And we managed to hit him. Lovely little blood spatter that pops up there. Gotta take it all in. Alright, we don't want to move too close. We don't want to get too up in their faces yet. Let's see, opportunity here to shoot this guy in the face again. 37, 32, what do we got here? 37, 32. Let's go for this guy. Hope for the best, and boom, oh, we've gotten him. So now you'll see, he's raised the white flag a little bit. Ooh, took a hit as well. You'll see a laceration across his nose there. His armor is a little bit tattered. It's a bit hard to see because his friend there is in the way. But it's the little things. Like I said, the art style in this, it's great. You just don't see that kind of quality craftsmanship in certain games. So it's really nice to see it in this game. Another thing, I know a lot of people complain about action animations in games, but I have really no issue with this one. I feel like the game moves along at a pretty quick pace for the most part, and tends to be fairly rapid. Now, we've put ourselves in a bit of a predicament here, because if I try to shoot any of these guys, my guys are in their way. You'll notice that the little shield with the arrow there indicates that there is a chance I will hit them. And I don't want to hit my own guys. So, what we're going to do is we're going to move around the side here and see what we can do. We'll move here. That is the farthest we can move, I think. Oh, no, we can move one more. We'll move around the edge. Now let's go ahead and attack this guy. He has a shield. 30% chance to hit. Alright, we've managed to hit him. Missed on that one. That's alright, though. And hit. And hit. One minor complaint I have about the combat is when you select an ability. So in this case, if I select the quick shot and I shoot it off, right? Regardless if I hit or not, it is going to deselect that, which means that the next time, in order to decide what I want to do, I have to click 1 again, or I have to click on the actual attack and hit it. Now, it's really a minor complaint in the grand scheme of things, because it doesn't really slow that much down. Like, oh my, I opened the wrong thing there. So sometimes, I click an ability, and if I have enough action points to continue to use that ability, like attack again, I wish I could just click on the enemy again. But instead, I have to click the ability I want to use before I can click again, if that makes sense. Oh, we've gotten a decapitation. Again, look at that art style. Look at that blood, fountain of blood, and that lovely little decapitation. Two-handed axes, great. They do tons of damage, insta-kills all day long, and not to mention the fact that they take 6 AP, so, you kind of have to hope for the best. Alright, so we've got one guy left here. I wonder, we can't shoot at that archer, but might be able to move. We'll move here. Just like in a lot of games, when you move up onto higher terrain, it does tend to increase the amount of AP you take. It also increases the amount of fatigue it builds up. It usually, if fatigue is 4 for movement, it'll go up to about 8. And fatigue, if you build up too much fatigue, you won't be able to take any more actions. So that is something to keep in mind. You won't be able to take any actions regardless of if you have action points or not. So keep your fatigue in mind. Alright, let's see what this guy, he's going to take an aim shot at us, and he did manage to hit us. But, we've lost a gentleman. Alright, that's fine. We've lost a brother. Alright, but we're managing to dodge some of these other hits. Now we're gonna take it back to him. Alright, 72% chance to thrust him again. Hopefully that was a good opportunity to see what exactly I meant there. So I had to re-click the ability in order to do it again. Hopefully I'll be able to demonstrate that again a little bit more clearly. Alright, so we're going to shoot at this guy. No, we're not. We're going to move here. Alright, we'll move in there. And, we're not going to be able to hit him either here. So, I don't know that I'm going to do anything with this guy right now. He's going to take a shot at us, probably hit the... Oh, man. Really hitting us. Alright. So, hit this guy. We've managed to get another kill. You'll also notice that morale works in an interesting way. I killed this guy, and these guys were affected by it. They realized, oh shit, it's 6-3. That dude just fucking beat our guy down from what was essentially full health. Now we might be in some trouble. So, things are looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and click the spear ability. Now I'm going to thrust at him, and I managed to kill him. But you'll notice it immediately deselected thrust. So even if he was still alive, it would have done that, and I wouldn't be able to just click on him again and thrust him. Which is unfortunate, because I want to be able to just keep thrusting him until I have no action points left to thrust him with. So, you got to keep that in mind. You're going to have to re-click thrust every time you want to thrust. And, as such, it is the way. Now, I realize I used the word thrust a lot. I did that on purpose. I apologize. Go ahead and laugh. But let's see if we can kill this guy. He's almost dead. 57% chance. I'm liking it. Oh, right, there we go. Another kill. Another beautiful spatter of blood. And we're moving in on this archer. Now, we have to be careful, because archers are sons of bitches. Let me tell you. Because the next thing, he's going to be able to go, and he's going to be taking shots at us. So we'll see if we can hit him here. Aim shot, we missed. Again, art style. Look at that arrow. Sticks in the ground. It's going to stay there the entire time. It's beautiful. Wonderful little thing. 7. Ooh. Oh, we missed. Okay. He's going to take a shot at us. Oh, no, he's retreating. So, here we have an option. We could wait it out and just see how far he runs away, or how long it takes him to run away, or we could chase him down. Now, he does have a bit of an advantage on us. He's also an archer, so that if he does decide to retaliate on us, he's got the range. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and exit through my turns and let this guy run off. because it's going to be advantageous for me because my guys are a little wounded. I did lose one of my guys in combat, and I want to keep them all alive, and I don't think chasing this guy down is worth it. So we will let him run off. All right, there we go. He's run off. We see that Wolfgang fought a valiant fight, but he is dead, unfortunately. After 7 rounds, we were able to beat the enemy, and we get our loot screen. We're just going to go ahead and take everything, and there's actually some not bad stuff. We got a thick tunic, which is decent armor. We got a little bit of food, some medical supplies, some ammo, a shield, money, things we can use. All right. So we will go ahead and return to this city, and we will drop off our quest. He meets us at the outskirts. Basically, again, just says, hey, good work. You've done good. Being a mercenary is hard. Good luck traveling. Yeah. Thank you for the advice. We got our 500 gold, which gives us an opportunity now to talk about our little indicators up here. So gold. This is obviously how much crowns you have, but if you hover over it, it tells you how many crowns you pay out a day and how long your crowns are going to last you. Food does the same thing. It tells you how much food you're going to eat a day, how long it'll last you, and it tells you can carry 300 provisions at a time, which is great. Tools, a little bit different. They tell you how many you have. It also tells you how many hours it's going to take to repair all of your damaged equipment and how many tools it's going to require. You also have ammunition, which, just reloads. You can only carry 100 of those, a little bit less. And then you have medical supplies, which again, it tells you how many hours it's going to take to heal up your men back up to full health, and it tells you how many it's going to require. So let's quickly talk about one interesting thing. So you have these items here in your stash. These will stay damaged unless you indicate that you want to repair them. You can, of course, hit Alt and right-click there, and you will be able to repair it. It is also, it'll also set up to repair the item if you equipped it to somebody. So if I click on Germald here, and I decide I want to use the long knife, if I want to use the long knife, I can equip it with him, and you'll notice the little repair indicator. So that weapon will now get repaired. We're also going to see everybody has pretty decent armor, except for this guy. He's a leather tunic. What does he have? He has a rugged surcoat. What do you have? A leather tunic as well. So it's between this guy and this guy. This guy's on the battlefield. I think I'm going to give him the thick tunic. A little bit more protection, just a little bit. Literally 5. But it could be the difference between death and life. So it's worth it. Oh my, what do we have here? Weapon in poor condition. This character's weapon is in poor condition and may permanently break if used again. Alright, well hopefully it'll repair in the amount of time we take as we quest about. So let's see. This is a large city, fairly sizable trading hub. We can actually look here and see what we have. In fact, there's a shield there that has our little insignia on it. I like that. That's cool. But I don't think we're going to buy it. We will go ahead and buy... Tough decision. Do I want to buy food? Do I want to buy medical supplies, tools? Probably not right now. I think it would be best to just adventure out. So we've got a castle down here. We've got a couple of cities. And we're going to head to the closest one. I think that's going to be this one, this Kalsahem. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. That seems pretty reasonable. Alright, so we're moving along. As you move around the world, you'll notice that the clouds drift among the sky. You'll also notice that those birds are flying there. That's beautiful. Look at these clouds. I mean, my gosh. The art style, again, let's talk about it for just a moment. Look at those clouds. Yeah, I don't know what they are. Those look like they could be whales. I think definitely whales. Sky whales. There we go. All right. Anyway, you'll notice that my soldiers here moved along the path. Now, they typically will move along the path because the path tends to be the fastest. If I decide to move through the forest or the mountains, it is going to slow me down. If I do move through the mountains, it will increase how much food I use. Now, unfortunately, there are no active contracts here to be found right now, which sucks. But there are a couple of guys here, so let's see who we can find. We might get lucky and find a guy who's worthwhile and not necessarily very expensive. we already have 3 guys with bows, so I don't think we want to be taking any of those. We're also really looking for someone who's not particularly expensive on the daily wage. This guy's a cultist, bit of a crazy guy. He has a bag on his head, but let's hire him. Everybody deserves an opportunity. I am an equal opportunity employer. So even you crazy bag guy have the opportunity to be a loyal soldier in the novice shaman army. We're going to equip you with a better knife, a little dagger. That way you don't have to worry about, stabbing yourself in the face. And a little buckler, perhaps? Buckler with the knife. I just don't see it. Buckler with the knife. I think it's not a good call. You know what? No, we're going for it. This is the beautiful part about this game. Oh, he's very strong. You get to make all the decisions. You very much are the leader of your mercenary bandit or mercenary army, and it very much shows. Obviously. All right, so that was a bust. Let us head out. Let's head to this castle here and see what we can see. You will notice that you do tend to spend quite a bit of time traveling. It's not too bad. I kind of hope that in future patches, again, this is an early access game, and it is fairly early access. This game hasn't been in early access, for a long while. I'm looking at you, Prison Architect. And I'm hoping, really kind of fingers crossed on this one, that they perhaps add horseback combat or some mounted units. I would really love to see that. And if there was a way to maybe get a cart for your army, and they would be able to travel a little bit faster with that cart or with the horses if you happen to have some mounted soldiers. We have a castle company that is following us here. Now, they are white. They're impossible to beat. But luckily, they probably aren't going to attack us. The white name indicating that they are not necessarily going to be aggressive against us. All right, we were able to find a contract here. Raise Free People's Camp. Oh, my. That seems a bit harsh. Oh, my. Okay, let's see what we've got here. I'm sure you can already tell, but some bandits have been spotted in this area. Unfortunately, we're far too short on men and supplies to go take out this problem ourselves. I hardly trust you, mercenary. I will say that up front. But I can swallow my pride for the sake of my men and these people that depend on me. For 850 crowns, I want you to go to Free People's Camp northwest of here and destroy all that you can find. Burn everything to the ground so we can see the smoke and return with their heads as proof. Can you do that? Well, I think I can. I expect a feast, I suppose. So let us see. Oh, there it is. Free People's Camp. You'll notice that it's red. They are going to be aggressive against us and deadly. So we're not going to be able to take that one on. Kind of unfortunate. You'll also notice that I can only accept one quest. Well, you won't be able to notice that, but I'm going to tell you about it. So you're only able to accept one quest, which is good and bad. It's good because, well, you don't overstock on quests, and you tend to stay very focused on what you're doing. But it would be nice if I could maybe take 1 or 2 more, because I want to keep this quest, because I want to be able to do it, but I can't do it right now. So, unfortunately, I am going to go ahead and disregard that quest, because I want to keep trying to make money, if I can. And we're going to progress over here to Verlangen. We're going to call it Verlangen. Yep, there we go. Verlangen. We're headed to Verlangen. We're going to see what kind of things are about. This is a small and peaceful village. It uses most of its produce itself and trades the remainder with neighboring communities. So it's very unlikely we'll find a lot here. Mercenaries might be cheap. Oh my, he's an adventurous noble, I imagine. Yeah. A couple of decent soldiers here. Mostly just really expensive guys that I can't afford, so I think we'll just leave. Unfortunately, no contracts there either. Oh my. I hope this isn't another one of those runs where occasionally this game suffers from a slight problem where you will travel from town to town finding no contracts. And that really sucks, because then in other playthroughs, you're going to find every contract imaginable. You'll go to a town, it'll have 3 contracts, and then you'll go to the next town and it'll have 3 contracts, and it'll just be, just nothing but peaches and rainbows and ice cream. And, oh my, that is a provocative cloud. Alright, sorry about that. Got a little distracted with my cloud gazing. But it suffers from a slight problem. I'm hoping that gets fixed. I imagine it will. It doesn't seem like something that is going to stick around for too long. And it's not the worst thing, because it doesn't usually happen. So hopefully we'll be able to, again, see some quests here. Oh, my hunting pack there, quite strong. See, here we go. Two contracts available here. You'll notice a struggling village up here at the top, and if we click on the guy here, we'll notice that he doesn't have very much to sell us. He's got some throwing axes, a couple of melee weapons, and some ammunition, some food, which we are going to buy a little bit, because the food is fairly cheap here. And we get a fair bit, and you don't want to run out of food, because people will leave your mercenary army if you run out of food, or if you run out of gold. If you can't pay them and you can't feed them, they're gone. They're dipping out, which is another little management thing that I really like. I've only ever lost one guy, and that was because he was gluttonous, and he was worried we were going to run out of food, even though we still had plenty of food. He was just nervous. So, the struggling village thing, basically when you are hiring mercenaries and doing contracts in these towns, they're going to be able to build up a little bit. At least that's the way the patch notes describe it. The thought process behind it is these cities are going to be able to sort of build up and grow as you adventure and quest. If you do missions for the city, if you buy from their store, if you hire things or hire mercenaries from them, you should be able to build up the town rather nicely and increase what is available to you. Now, right now, in this build, you only have the store, but I know I believe it's the next patch, they intend to make a weapon and armor shop, and they're going to redesign the town hub, or the town screen. So it should be really interesting. But you should definitely hop into the game before that happens. So let's see what we've got. We've got a couple of guys here, not particularly expensive. We'll go ahead and we'll pick up this minstrel. He's not super expensive a day, and he's pretty cheap overall. We also have a messenger. We'll hire him. Hopefully he doesn't get killed, because I would hate to kill the messenger. Let's see what contracts we have here. All right, so an easy one. We just have to reach this town. He's going to pay us 435 crowns. That's not bad, but I want to see what the other mission is. The other mission is to raise a camp. So there are a few different types of missions. Again, this one's probably going to be too tough for us. They are offering a lot of money, and we do not necessarily have the cash for, or we do not necessarily have the army to handle that. So the mission types you're going to be experiencing are go to this place, destroy the enemy, return to me. You're going to be experiencing messenger missions where you talk to the guy and he says, hey, I want you to take this thing, go to this town. When you get there, you'll get this money. All right, fair enough. There's also protect the caravan missions where you will follow a caravan along the road and as it travels to a town and just provide extra support to it. Those missions tend to pay pretty good, depending on how far the caravan is traveling, and depending on the likelihood of it being attacked, you're going to make a lot more money. Now, one thing I would think, I think would be interesting is if you could sort of haggle with these contractors and say to yourself, okay, look, this guy wants to pay me, 1,000 crowns for going to Restdorf. It's all the way up here. And he's carrying gold, perhaps, in his caravan. And I say to myself, that's really far and a very valuable treasure. I would like to be able to maybe, get a little bit more money for that mission. I hope to see it added. I don't know that they're going to. I can't say I would blame them if they didn't, but I think it would be a really interesting concept. Again, we're talking about an early access game here, so anything is possible. Oh my. So, this game also has random events. And some of them are good, some of them give you options, some of them are just things. This is one of those that's just a thing. Traveling. You like to keep your men fresh with the occasional training exercise. Unfortunately, while practicing a riposte, Ulf managed to stick himself in the foot. The man appears even more hurt by the embarrassment. Alright, at least he didn't kill himself. That is a fair point. At least he didn't kill himself. Alright, so we are going to head to this city, doing the mission. Alright, you'll also have noticed there was a hunting pack here earlier. Now, hopefully, that hunting pack is not around anymore because they looked very strong. And hunting packs are one of the breeds of enemy that is relatively tough to deal with. Because of especially early on. Because hunting packs have things like vampires, they have things like werewolves, shit like that you have to deal with. And I am not equipped to fucking take down a vampire, And I am definitely not equipped to take down a werewolf. I don't have the armor, I don't have the weaponry. So yeah, we're gonna avoid hunting packs for now. Again, another reason why I'm hoping for mounted combat, because there are scenarios in this game that you can play, and they kind of teach you how to play the game a little bit. And there's a scenario where you have to fight a hunting pack with kind of limited soldiers, but really good equipment. And let me tell you, it is so difficult to do that fight. The vampires can turn into bats and move around the battlefield at a whim. They tend to like to group up and attack one guy. The werewolves are just strong as all can be. It is a nightmare fighting them, and I just do not have enough practice to really adequately battle them. So, we shall see if that ever, if we ever get lucky enough to run into one of those that we can actually defeat, we will see. Very much a low-power fantasy, this game. You'll notice right off the bat, because there is no magic abilities. You don't have any magic powers. Most of the enemies you encounter don't have magic powers, with the exception of the vampires. Turning into the whole bat and, flying away, that's kind of magical, I would say. Alright, what do we got here? We have a couple of gentlemen who look to be pretty well equipped. And this guy, we're going to hire this guy. He's 855. He's 15 a day. It's going to be a little bit risky, because we pay out a lot of crowns. Do a little mental math here. I don't think I have the money to support him. Even though he would be a good addition. He is a disowned noble. Oh my. After an incestuous relationship with his sister came to light, Giesler was seen as being too ambitious, a dangerous trait amongst the nobility. Giesler now seeks to redeem himself and live up to the family name. A bit selfish for a mercenary outfit, noble nonetheless. Alright, well, it's a tough call. I could hire him and run back over to the castle and attempt to do that tougher mission. I think that's what we'll do. We are going to hire this guy. Ooh, tough decision. Oh boy. Maybe not the best. We have 11 days, so we better get some gold. Let's run over here to Welmer Castle, pick up the mission to take down the Free People's Camp. It's still going to be challenging for us, though, even with these 10 guys. But we're going to fight it. We're going to go in there guns a-blazing, and we're going to see what we can do. Oh, I don't know. A tough mission, I think. But this is where Battle Brothers is at right now. And as you can see, it's already really well developed. Well, that is unfortunate. There is nobody there. Alrighty then. We'll have to look elsewhere for a quest. We'll run back up to the city and see. It's really well developed, though. You'll see, in a lot of cases, there's not a lot of issue with the UI. It's all very easy information. You can find everything pretty easily. And it tends to just be really good fun. The game is $19.99 on Steam, and I did buy it, So let me be transparent with you there. I did purchase this game, and I honestly would go back and make that purchase every single time. I have had an immense amount of fun with this game. And here actually is a Protect the Caravan mission, so we'll go ahead and accept this. This is a pretty fair bit of money. But I have enjoyed this game immensely. And I really do believe that it is a game worthy of your time. Now, certainly there are other games out there that are worthy of your time, but this one is doing so many things right, and they're really trying to get their game funded so that they can make an even more expansive game, and I think that they deserve that opportunity, because they've already made a smash hit. Honestly, if the game stayed like this, I would probably keep it. I would still pay that $20. Because I'm enjoying it. I have a ton of fun fighting, protecting caravans, experiencing the random things, but knowing in the back of my mind that every time they update things, new stuff is going to be coming through the pipeline, and more exciting stuff is going to be in the game, just makes the investment all that much more worthwhile. Now, they do have two other investment options. You can purchase a $29.99 version of the game, which the name of that escapes me. You can also purchase a $39.99 game, which is the supporter edition. Now, you do receive additional content with that. You receive things like the Battle Brothers, oh my goodness, what is it? Battle Brothers soundtrack, which the orchestral accompaniment that is in this game is really good. In fact, I should realistically let you hear some of that, but we'll do that at the end. In fact, or maybe at the very end, we'll let you listen to that, because I have thoughts and I need to get them out. So you also receive some concept art, and I believe some other fan-related things. You might get a thank you in the old credits. You'll also notice here, as I move down the road, my line of sight has decreased, and I can no longer see my caravan where it is. That's troubling, because not being able to see it means that if it gets attacked or it gets lost, I'm going to fail the mission. It is very, very possible to fail the mission. In fact, I one time followed the wrong caravan, even though it is indicated right there above it what caravan to be following. I followed the wrong caravan, and I lost where the one I was supposed to be following went, and I failed the mission. And it really sucked, because I needed that money. It was rough, to say the least. Now, we're almost to Wesendorf, or Wiesendorf, perhaps, and my money is running low, and my provisions are running low. I am hopeful that I will make it there before we run out of food. Alright, let's see. During camp, while you attempt to study some poorly drawn maps, the sound of blades being drawn pierce your ears. You roll up your work and put it into a scroll's sleeve before making way to the disturbance. Grimald is being held down by one brother's knee, while Hagen and Giesler look about ready to chop his head off. Seeing you arrive, the men calm down for a moment. They explain that the killer tried to slay one of them. Indeed, the brother has a nick on his neck. A little bit deeper, and something other than words would be coming out of his mouth right now. The men demand Grimald be hanged for his attempted murder. Well, this is one of those occasions where, this guy was a killer on the run, and his background to me didn't really affect me. I just hired him, and it turns out that he tried to kill one of our guys. Now, we have a few options here. We could be very Paragon about this. This is your family now. Do not ever dare such a thing again. And that's kind of the good thing. You could be pretty renegade and have him hanged for this, which kind of sucks. We lose a guy, but it sets an example. We don't have to worry about this shit again. Potential, have him flogged for this. So we could just mercilessly beat him until he decides that he's not going to kill people anymore. But the problem with having him flogged is, I think that is going to create a bit of ill will in Grimold. He's going to be very angry with us, and he may attempt to kill other people. He may be more successful. He may do a lot of things. He may end up just leaving the mercenary army. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Paragon approach, and let's see. So while you try to bring peace between a party of misfits, your attempts for neutrality only seem to anger a few of the men. In particular, the man with the nicked neck is seething, swearing, and kicking things over. A few of the other men worry aloud about a lack of discipline. Hagen gets angry, and everyone else is concerned. We march on. Boy, I don't usually regret my decisions in this game, but that is one of the first times I've regretted it. I thought being diplomatic and trying to work things out and say, hey, we're all family here, we need to come together, would be a positive outcome. And it turns out it was not. So, hey, what do you know? You win some, you lose some. So when you play this game, don't pick that option. That is going to be my suggestion to you. As I said, there's lots of random events that occur. They can all be kind of silly. I remember there's one where I found a two-headed rabbit, and I happened to have a superstitious party member, and because of the two-headed rabbit, he said it was a bad omen, and that it was ill tidings to come. My commander, which is, I guess, myself, was like, I don't know what he's talking about, but hey, two heads, more meat. And I was thinking, boy, he's going to eat the brains of that thing, but oh well. And ironically enough, he thought it was an ill tiding, and shortly after that, I went into a battle, and I got killed. Just slaughtered all of my men. It was a bit ironic, because I had traveled through the mountains to get to this place. I was feeling good, my army was doing well, and there it was, within a blink of an eye, a two-headed rabbit was my demise. Alright, so they've made it. We're going to take our money. We're going to check out the city, or the town, I guess, village. And what we're going to do is we're going to buy some food immediately. We're going to buy like a lot. Because I don't want to run out of food. So, perfect. Buy that food. Once we leave, we'll be able to increase it there. See what this contract is for. Another, just reach the town mission. We won't accept that right now. Just because I think we can wrap up on Battle Brothers pretty nicely here. It is a really good turn-based RPG. And, you know what? Let me talk about the RPG elements, because I realized I have not. So, in the roster, you have an option of perks. Now, there are several different types of perks. There are offensive perks, there's defensive perks, and utility perks. Depending on what kind of character you're building is going to be determining what you want to be putting all of your perks in. You also get to level up your character. So you get a perk point, pick a perk. Your level up allows you to tag 3 skills and increase them. So you're going to be able to tag your hit points and increase them by a certain amount. You're going to be able to tag your fatigue and increase it. You're going to be able to tag your resolve and increase it. Increasing resolve will increase your morale in battle. You can increase your initiative, which is going to determine where... Initiative determines where you move on that lovely little Final Fantasy X-esque battle bar that tells you where people are going, or who's going to go next. So increasing initiative lets you move a little bit quicker. You can also increase your melee skill, which is going to increase your usefulness with swords, spears, axes. Range skill increases your things with bows and crossbows. Your defenses here, melee and range. And then these are going to just be kind of based on what kind of armor or weapons you're using and things like that. Chance to hit in the head, effectiveness versus armor, damage. You can't really increase these by level ups. The damage is just increased by getting a better weapon, really. And then perks. Most of the offensive perks have to do with increasing effectiveness against armor, or increasing effectiveness against things like shields, or let's see here, gain a 10% chance to hit for all area effect attacks, things like that. Utility is more like, oh hey, you have a weapon in your bag, you can now switch to that weapon free of action points. Or one of my favorites, Pathfinder, it actually reduces the fatigue cost, and you don't get an additional AP charge or action point charge for moving into higher terrain, which is fantastic. I really enjoy that. There's also ones that increase your experience that you get, things like that. And then, of course, you have down here at the bottom, you have some very, very high tier things. But this is a game that deserves your time, I think. If you enjoy a good turn-based RPG or are just looking for a game to sink a lot of time into, Battle Brothers, it's got you. It already is a time sink, and it is going to just continue to get better. So that's my rant. That is my plea for you, loyal viewers. I recommend it highly. So without further ado, I bid you adieu.